remember as a child, we often mixed and matched words that nearly meant the same thing but didn't quite. And it didn't matter to us because we all knew each other. And so we knew what we meant when we were having conversations. And we were only ever corrected really by parents or by teachers. So as we grew up, we began to understand the real meaning of words and perhaps began to use them a little bit more accurately, a little bit better. But there are some words that I still mix and match. And there's a couple of words, especially at Christmas time, the word cost and worth. I'm always looking to see what something costs and to see whether it's really worth it. And I remember I've been stung one or two times in my life when I bought something and then I found that what I paid for it probably wasn't what it was worth. I think we've all done that. Which makes me realise that the truth of cost and worth doesn't lie with me, but the truth of cost and worth lies with the God who created me. Only He knows the true cost of something and the true worth, the value of something else. So take, for instance, Christmas. We're told by Isaiah that unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. Only God knows the cost and the worth of that gift to us. And as we peer back into the midst of time, we see this gift come to fruition in the story of a mother and a father being sent to a place to be counted, and arriving in that place and finding that there was nowhere really for them to be accommodated. And we find it in the story of angels singing joyfully that despite what we see, a stable and poverty and a long journey, they see something else. They see God Himself become incarnate. And shepherds are joyful about what they see too. And so cost and worth is somehow put there in this place in the back end of nowhere for us to try and find. And so when I see the story of Christmas, I see something of unimaginable cost to the God who loves us. I see something of unimaginable worth given to us by this same God. And that makes sense of Christmas itself. So this time of the year we rejoice because unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. This is a gift without cost, except to the one who gives it, and who alone knows what that means. And further, this child whose worth we cannot even begin to quantify is offered to the whole world. It's a gift unlike any other. It's placed quietly, fragile and vulnerable into our midst. Luke says, while they were there, the time came for her to give birth, and she gave birth to her firstborn son, and she wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger, because there was no place for them in the inn. So Christmas is a slow reveal. It takes work, effort, intelligence to see what God sees. In it, He teaches cost and worth. The lesson starts way back in human history, with prophets peering through the mists of time, talking of a child and an unbroken promise, of majesty, of governance and peace. Angels tell us of an obedient woman and a husband, of shepherds and wise men. They tell of a star and a long journey. And they all say that we can glimpse the beginning of the fulfillment of a promise through a stable door in the back end of nowhere. And if we choose to do so, because it is a choice, the whole story of Jesus unfurls before us. And in it, at last, we can begin to grasp the true meaning of the words cost and worth. So unlike the gifts that we so often give, this gift will not decay and its figure will not dim. Rather, it'll continue to grow in power and majesty until its worth is proved in the overcoming of all that's broken and poor and the making whole of all that is divided and separated. I don't want to sit back in January and think, gosh, Christmas, it cost me an arm and a leg. I'd much rather sit back and think, Christmas, it was absolutely worth it. But if you don't believe me, this crusty old bishop, then perhaps you'll believe somebody that my wife said I've emulated all my life. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. What if Christmas, he thought, didn't come from a store? What if Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more? Nadolig, happy Christmas and God bless to you all. Amen.